shot.
Right. Three,
In two.
two, one. Hi, I'm Dave Sider, baby. This is for Rock Radio UK. I'm speaking with a band who, well, they've intrigued me. I've got to say, when I first heard the promo come through, Aeons. Is that how you pronounce it? Aeons?
Hey, that's correct, mate. Aeons, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Hello, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, we're doing all right, man. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
We're sat here in the Isle of Man. It's a lovely day.
Sunny Isle of Man, literally for once.
Yep, TT's just finished. You remember TT maybe from when
I
you lived here?
remember the TT. Yeah, we were just discussing off air that I was there decades. Yeah, it was decades ago. Working as a dairy farmer.
Well, 20,000 bikes have just gone home, and we've been
Yeah.
playing gigs all through between us, we've been playing gigs all through those 2 weeks to the foreigners who come
Yeah.
over, entertaining them.
Foreigners. You still pronounce them as foreigners coming over.
Most of them are German or Swiss. To be fair, there's hardly any Germans on the Isle of Man, and all of a sudden they become a significant percentage of the population for 2 weeks.
When when I was there, I mean, the guy I was working for used to refer to the Isle of Man as 40,000 alcoholics clinging to a rock.
Well, it's 120,000 alcoholics now.
Is it?
Yeah,
It's grown.
120,002.
Yeah. Okay.
Usually we'd be sat here with whiskey right now, but we've both had a heavy weekend, so just keep it light, shall we?
As we said, TT, it took a toll on both of us.
Yeah. TT's never peaked out. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm just going to put the product placement here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying it. Yeah. Thanks for Thatcher's for sending over some free cider for me. So I mean, when I was over there decades ago, I wasn't really into the music scene at all. I was just milking cows. So, what is the music scene like on the Isle of Man itself now?
So it's better in the last 2 years.
Oh yeah.
So the problem we have is not down to venues. So one of the interesting facts about the Isle of Man is I think there's more musicians per capita than anywhere else I've ever lived. And I say this in every interview because it's very important. This is a very musical island.
Yeah.
And not just original bands, but covers bands, folk bands, orchestra bands, steel bands. Like for 120,000 people, there's a lot. If you look at Jersey, which is a summer population, there's nowhere near like the same sort of music at that. You can go to about what 20 pubs on Saturday and probably get around the island, and there'll be bands playing, which is for a small island of 10 by 30 is actually quite something.
Yeah.
But of original bands and metal bands, there's four really. Of which we're the prog one.
Yeah.
There's our mate Wolf Damage, the punky, thrashy crossover ones.
Yeah.
There's Silo, who we played with recently, who were great, and then there's some other ones like who've just come and disappeared. And I'm not going to mention now in case I miss one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to bode well, is it? So, just tell me about yourselves. When did you start? When did you get together?
I think it was 2016. Like, luckily for us, we had projects before this band. Everyone in the band had projects before, but in 2015, all those projects kind of just came to an end.
Yeah.
So then I literally was at the pub with I think it was Justin.
Justin, our old bass player.
Justin, and we were just sat there with Simon, and he's a regular at the pub, and then we just there talking to him, going, "Wait a minute, you're a musician. Shall we just do a thing?" And then he just went, "I've got the perfect thing." And then he's just
because the singer of his old band would come around to my recording studio because I did the mastering for their album.
Yeah,
well, at least CD mastering for it, and I played our singer, but at the time his old singer, a track that I'd written, and he said to me, "Oh, that's so good. If you ever want to be in a band, mate, I'd start it on that song on its own."
Yeah.
And that song is Strange Aeons, and that's the one that's on the first album. And that's where we get the name from as well, because we were just shortening of a text message like what songs we're going to play, and we said Aeons. And oh, actually, that's a pretty cool name for a band, right?
Yeah.
So it's a quote from H.P. Lovecraft, but it's not mentioned in the song because everybody does that.
Okay. This is your third album, yeah?
This is well, yeah. We've already got the fourth one pretty much ready.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is old news then, really.
Well, we've been sat on this one for what? Over a year.
Yes, over a year and a half at least.
Well, we finished it January last year, and then Steve took 3 months to master it. Steve Lieberman from Odenorgan, the famous German power metal band, like he's a lovely fucking guy, and he did mastering for it. And he took a long time because he had shit going on in his life, which is totally understandable. So it got to like to about sort of May, and then it took us ages for our management to find a record label because we're a weird band.
Mm.
You know, we're a weird eclectic sound of songs, and we were talking to like the big boys. And they said, we don't know what to do with you. And I said, okay, that's totally fine. But you like the music, right? Oh, we love the music, but we weren't quite sure what to do with you. And it's like, okay, I'll take that. As long as it's not the music, I'm happy. To the point where we had, I won't mention a record company, but we had probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest metal label come to one of our shows, and we did a demo for them in London. And he was, the A&R guy said, I love you, but I just can't work with you. And then looking at the crop of what they did sign as a result, they weren't looking for prog, they were looking for 4-minute metalcore, and that's not us.
No. I mean, you got a little bit of metalcore in your sound as well, but I mean, you got so much more.
It's okay, Simon. The Batman can't hurt you.
Fucking hate metalcore, man.
Oh no! I mean, there's a little bit of that modern guitar
sound. My influence tinging through a little bit.
Yeah.
However you want to define it is up to you, of course.
All right, I'm just rewriting my review now as we speak.
It's just a sound. Metalcore to me is like very much a young man's band with a very specific sort of sound, and I try and steer that in the writing as much as possible. We try and steer it from that sound as much as possible, you know. But sort of metalcore, deathcore, but we're much more like Opeths, Dream Theaters, Prisms, and that's the influences rather than what you actually hear in a record. But that's what's going into it. I mean, I'm Gomez, Supertramp, you know, everything, anything proggy. Yes, Camel works, and so and then Scott is the metalcore dude.
Yeah, that'll be my influence coming through growing up. Lamb of God, Kill Switch, Engage, and all that. So
and Skippy Austin, right?
And Skippy was Kill Switch. You know, to be honest, Justin as well. Like it's
only me keeping it away.
Yeah, you're the last wall of defense. Going, no boys, no. Like,
I mean, go on.
Metalcore is just not my thing. Well, hopefully, what do you hear in it? Do you hear anything specifically in there?
Well, I was just going to say, actually, I was listening to, I think it was Home, and which is the second. We should say it's Ghosts is What We Know, or What We Know is the album. And I was listening to Home, and I thought, well, this looks like you sort of like stood next to Slipknot at the side and think, early Slipknot, you know. Stand back, fellas, we can do this much better, and you've just taken it another dozen steps forward.
I would say a little bit older. I was really looking at Fear Factory.
Yeah.
Demanufacturing, the second one, obviously. Slipknot's first album, yeah, that's fucking brilliant. But we're too old for it to be that angry. You know what I mean? And so are they now, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Korn trying to be angry teenagers still.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. But I mean, his voice is fantastic. But
oh yeah. Oh, but there is quite a bit of Korn in there, especially on album number 2.
Yeah, we love Korn a lot.
Yeah, we did.
We do have a penchant for a bit of new metal, don't we?
And bounty metal. We just want to have fun. So there's complex tracks on the albums, but we also want like what we call the bangers, like Rubicon of the second album, Bloodstains of the second album. Of this one, definitely Circles, and we think probably Home as well. Like it'll just short 4 minutes, 5 minutes, bang it to an audience, and then we can play them a 9, 12, 15, 20-minute song.
Yeah.
Once they've had their fill. Because you can't walk on stage and play 20 minutes of a song. No, people are just going to leave.
Yeah. You need something to refresh the ears every now and then.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I've been playing Circles on the breakfast show. I do the breakfast show.
Thank you very much.
And I've been playing Circles for the last couple of days. And it's like, yeah, this is, it is progressive, but it's accessible enough for people to say, yeah, this is really good. Perhaps I'll go and check out what the rest of you guys have done.
That's exactly it. We don't try and put one on the album, but it tends to work that one of those just tends to happen. One of the first album, didn't we? With Scar Tissue, and then the second album was most of that kind of stuff. So we've gone back to more proggy on this album. But it's important that if you're in a prog band, you've got to have a fucking standout song, because nobody gets an album and goes, "There's 5 fucking songs on this. I've got to listen to all of this to find the good one." But if you've got a shorter one, you can immediately just put 4 minutes into you and go, "Oh, actually, that's pretty cool. I'll listen to the rest now."
Yeah, it's like a snapshot, isn't it? It's just like, right, if these guys can do this in 4 minutes, what is Ghosts going to sound like? It's just
perfect. You've said that absolutely perfectly. Yeah, that's exactly what we want them to think, or at least be intrigued about.
Okay. So I mean, you've got nine tracks here. I'm just trying to look at my screen without my glasses on. I'm trying to be too vain. Um, I mean, I like Circles. I like Home. Noose is a very good opening track. It does grab you by the neck and gives you a good shake.
It was the last one.
No.
Yeah, it was. Cascade was the last one. Machine's the last one.
Noose
was the surprise one at the end because we didn't think the album started like with enough pub. And so that acoustic intro on gets you a bit excited. It's already got quite a lot of melody going on. Yeah. So it tells you in a few bars, it tells us what we do. And then when it comes into the first bend, the first wow, and you go, okay, there's something more than just like an acoustic willy willy. This is going to be something heavy as well.
Yeah.
But it's not written that way. It's written to service for song, but that song written in that format was like the best opener we could wish for, I think.
Okay. I mean, for you guys, I mean, what are your two standout tracks for the album?
I'll let him answer it, and then I'll answer.
So, Ghosts, obviously, because I think so far we're released, that's like our biggest undertaking yet. It is such a monster in itself. And even just trying to remember to play half of that is a challenge, in all honesty. Like it's a musician thing when you get to the next riff and you're like, I have no idea what's going to happen next. And then your fingers just remember, split second before he goes, there it is. Right? I do love how that one flows in and out, but it's hard to choose. But I have always loved from the first listen was Machines. That it's got that raw feeling to it. And yes, it has got a big chorus that comes in, but it just gripped me straight away. I've not usually when you play a song a few too many times, you go, I'll give that one a skip. I don't tend to do it with that one at all.
Because we listen to these songs a lot. Like probably more than 500 times each before it even gets to like album because we're just trying to find the details you want to change in them. The demos that I do and we come and collaborate on tend to be the framework for the finished product. So you get the demo right, and then all you've got to do is replace it with the actual recording quality guitars you want for the finished product. And then after mastering's been done, it's all mixed here, it's all recorded here, mixed here by us. There's no studios, no nothing. It's all us. So we can do that whenever we want to. If I want to do it 2 a.m, I'll do it 2 a.m. And that allows you to work on the details. I think a lot more than bands who refine it in the practice room, go to a recording studio, plug in and go, shit, is that what it sounds like? When it's not hugely loud in the room and you're finding these little details are missing in the very stark recording, and then it's a problem for them to try and get that back again. I think it's why you see a lot of bands, we did this album live because in studio because it felt better. And which is totally fine, but whatever works for you, I just think that's a very difficult thing to do, especially with complicated songs. So we're not a jam band. We don't sit and jam. I mean, we do.
Well, we haven't in a while.
Yeah, but we don't write songs in the practice room. We write songs here in a more sort of.
Not since album one. We've refined our process quite a bit now.
The guys have all got PCs which are compatible with mine, so they can go and bring a project in and bring it to mine, and it's all ready to go straight into my gear, and so we can work that way. Because we do everything ourselves and there's no money to go outside, that gives us more money to spend on advertising and things like that. Right? It's all done. It's just our time.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, recording is just half the story at the end of the day.
It's most of what this band does.
Yeah.
Most of what this band does is recording.
Most of what the people do, never mind, like band, especially you. You have how many other projects? Like your own personal passions.
Well, and I've also got a studio, so I do stuff at other bands as well.
Yeah.
But the recording to get the quality, and thankfully I've been there. I think we've all been surprised by how some of the reviewers have already said it sounds great.
Yeah.
And so did it? That was us. Did it? Are you sure? It's like that kind of like the self-doubt of your own work. I can't remember what that's got a name, hasn't it? I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
And I just feel that having that control of the details is what makes it much more comfortable for us to be very proud of the product. Because there's nothing we're gonna, we know the problems way before we go to do the actual recording.
Everything's ironed out. Literally, we're sat there before we even go, oh, right, are we going to hand this to CB? Go, no, and we'll take away for 2 weeks and everyone listen to it and you'll get the patch notes back going, this part in goes at 7 minutes 56. I don't like how the guitar hits here.
Yeah,
and we'll listen to it and go, I agree with you or I don't agree with you, and we just hash out of it. So it takes a little while for us to get there, but as we said earlier, we write very quickly, and then most of the time it's just finesse.
That must be
I mean, I suppose you've got that crystal clear idea of how your sound wants to be, how it wants to be portrayed across the airwaves or whatever. Then having to take that to a third party, shall we say, like a producer outside your
No, we don't.
environment who doesn't work with you, who doesn't know you so well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can work on, shall we say, a more popular sound.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Where he says, "Yeah, this is going to appeal to the masses. This
Yeah.
is where you've got a particular sound you want to portray, you want to bring out, you want to bring out the core of it. I mean, I think you're doing the right thing. I mean, you have got that perfect sound almost.
The thing. Sorry, I apologize. I didn't realize you spoke. There's a slight lag. Sorry, please carry on.
Yeah. You've got that sound that's almost perfection there. To do that yourselves, that's no mean feat. I mean,
Sin of pride, mate. I think, but not much, just a little bit. Because we're always like, is it good enough? Are we sure? It's like it's like giving a gift to your loved one at Christmas. Will they like it?
Our friends when we're sat there and we're the one we can unleash ourselves fully on. Like, please, does this sound? Tell me. No, that sounds great. No, I need more. Tell me more.
So this is my flat. I mean, Scott lives upstairs in the same building, different flat, and then we have our mates come around here. And we just go, "While you're here, you want to listen to this new one we've done? 20 minutes of it." I'm taking it away until you listen to it, and then we get this sweet. But I'm saying that our friends are our biggest fans, and especially two of them, and they really help shape. That's why they're on the thanks notes about the album for just listening. And it was one of them, Blake, when we did Machines live for the first time, but nobody's heard that. As heavy as I heard, he was singing the lyrics, and somebody in the audience said, "How do you know the lyrics to this song?" And he goes, "Oh well, I get drunk with time and a lot."
Yeah, I mean, so what is the future for Aeons now? I mean, you've got this album coming out in July, is it?
Oh, that's the same thing as always been world domination.
or we're British. Calm it down a bit. Corner of a room, acceptance.
No, I was about to say I'm not, but I've got a British passport, so I am. It's just like, oh yeah, maybe I should calm it down a bit.
You never need spaceman stuff. British. I don't know. I think bringing joy to people. I think the whole when you see people singing back your lyrics.
Yeah,
we did that. Fucking that. It's not that's not a sin of pride in that way, but it's like you go. I'm having a shared experience that we have created with an audience member that I don't know. I have nothing in common with him except we both like this music.
Yeah.
It's not like in a band where we two strangers are watching a band singing that other band. We're in the thing that created it ourselves, and that joy is incredible, absolutely incredible. And when some people say no, we've got I think 20 or 30 people on Spotify who we're their most played band.
Yeah,
and I cannot understand that.
I know,
even mind blowing, isn't it?
Like one of them's at least me.
Yeah. That's 5 bands, so it can't be that. And I don't listen to on Spotify.
They take away Chris and Blake, so
who don't listen to on Spotify.
Yeah, don't listen to Spotify.
So 20, it goes up and down. But we were on 1,500 playlists last year, and we couldn't believe it. It was like, that's cool. This is just gone out there, and the internet has allowed that to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, was one guy in Thailand listened to us 300 times, right? And it's like, which obviously one of his playlists, maybe at the top of the list or something. That's incredible. If you're not on Spotify, by the way, you can know these details because Spotify tells you. You can actually find out, by the way, what the name of the playlist is that you're on.
Okay.
So when you go to management console, you can see the names of the playlists that you've been put on, and some of them are quite spicy.
Okay, what about gigs then? Are you coming over to? Are you coming across the water?
We're definitely putting our oar in, like that. That's definitely future goal. Yeah. Like bigger, brighter things. Definitely want to hit more gigs in England. And we want to hit festivals as well. So we're plugging our name up there. And now with Ghosts, what we knew coming out,
and more importantly, Slip Trick as
the well behind us.
Yeah, we're not just a band anymore. We've got people who put money on us, and that's a ticket to ride. It's a
big thing.
The problem is, though, as you know, having lived on the Isle of Man, it's getting off the Isle of Man. Like, if you live in Liverpool, you can do a gig in Manchester and be home in time for tea. Whereas in the island, you've only got 2 boats backwards and forwards. It's expensive. And you have to do a few gigs, and sometimes put a pub of 100 people just doesn't cut it financially. So you have to go, we really need to know that this is going to do well. Maybe not for the merch, but not for the merch, but simply just we're going to have a good time.
Exactly that. Just like even if we like do like cut out of costs and it does cost us money, we're not caring of that as long as we have a good gig and people enjoy it. And you just sat there going, that was worth it.
Hordes we played in 2022.
22, yeah.
And it was amazing. Like we played Hordes in Scotland, and it was, I think we opened a lot of people's eyes. A lot of people bands were sort of black metal, stoner. There was a Dying Feet style band, which we absolutely loved. But we were the only prog act. And the sound guy turned around to me afterwards and said, "Oh, it's nice to do sound for a band that you can actually hear what's going on. I even use reverb." It was like, all right. and so we stood out because our sound was clearer and more defined. And we got 3 vocalists. So the harmonies are like the biggest thing for us, the vocal harmonies. And when we did that, people going, "This is a metal band, not a country band." You know.
Yeah. It must be a bit jarring when you got like a big riff going on behind and the 3 of us are doing different notes each, and it's just a wall of voices hitting you.
And that's what we realized people love. We actually even changed the set list when we were there because we realized that people love it when we sing it at the a cappella parts. So we tend to put a cappella parts on the record now, on different ones, just to show off a bit, but to give you a different way of listening to the chorus.
Yeah.
You can all do it. And then not a lot of metal bands have 3 vocals.
No.
Like, there's maybe two screamers. You maybe got 2 screamers and a clean.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 2 screamers, but you don't tend to have 3 cleans like we do. All thankfully with different ranges.
Yeah.
And I listen to a lot of country music, and the arrangement comes from how country people do it and how they choose the tonality of the voices. And it really pays off. You know, we thought it was just a cool thing, but at some gigs when we do that part in Strange Aeons, people just stop and stare at us. Like, you know, if it's a country gig, it would be nothing. Right? Yeah. But if it's a metal gig, it's a real impact for them, and that's how we get ourselves known.
Yeah. I'd like to see you at Bloodstock. I've got to be straight. I mean, that would be an eye opener.
We're playing a festival in Munich next year, run by Prog Power, and we've been invited to that, which is great. We get to play with like a bunch of bands that I've listened to for years. That's the first step. Well, that's next year, so we're going to try and get on the Horde, see if Paul's got any spaces left, and we'll see what we can do. But it's all about doing like a handful at a time, so we can make it worthwhile of our time. We can't just go in a van and drive up to 100 miles because it's the 4 hours of the boat plus the transit plus the cost, plus you can only sail at these specific times. That's the problem.
Well, sometimes even just getting the time off work, we're still working people, so it's just.
I mean, imagine playing down in Devon.
Yeah,
we like.
There he is.
Think this way: if you're in Liverpool, it's about a 7-hour drive, probably down to Exeter, something like that, right?
It's not like that.
Right, even there, perfect. There you go.
6.
Okay, but let's call it. If you start off at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're going to get there and be able to set up and play your gig. It's overnight and then come home again. We just can't do that.
No.
When you only really play 100 miles around Liverpool, or maybe Haitian up there. So you got Manchester and stuff, but North, but London was a massive logistics to get down there.
I bet.
Yeah, about 8. We were on car for 8 hours.
Oh, 8 hours, yeah, down
plus
the motorways.
Plus
boat, yeah.
So
don't remind me about that boat. I hate that boat.
Oh, it's a lot better now.
We've got new boats now.
Yeah.
New boats, really. I still get seasick. No.
Guys, listening, what's put us on? We'd love to play. Come and hit us up in the socials, man.
Yeah. Okay. So the Ghosts of What We Knew is out very soon. It's on Slip Trick Records. Guy, people can check you out on the socials, I assume.
Yeah, well, if you go to aeons.online, that's our website. All our socials are at the top, and then on Facebook we're at Aeons_Isle of Man, and you'll find everything on TikTok.
We have IOM.
Yeah. Sorry, IOM. And on TikTok we're the same. We're doing quite well on TikTok, aren't we?
Yeah, not doing too bad on TikTok.
We're one of the only metal bands that actually is on TikTok, because there's not a lot of bands go on it. So.
There's a lot of like deathcore and all that.
Yeah, but not prog bands.
You rarely see prog. Maybe a bit of Vola.
But it was weird. TikTok was like, it sounds like 12-year-olds use that.
I was the one there just like going, I'll sacrifice my phone, boys.
Yeah, I'm not that shit, man. So we do it all ourselves. We manage it all ourselves. We look after it. We post as much as we can, and we're happy. Even if you just want to say hello, just to make, I wasn't the album, I liked it. Give us a drop. If you don't like it, tell us. We don't mind. We genuinely don't mind because music is altogether now subjective. That was supposed to be altogether.
Sorry,
I couldn't bring myself to do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Music is subjective. We're not going to see eye to eye on everything.
No.
And music, politics, art, it's all subjective.
No, it's a really good idea.
Like, but so whatever people think is absolutely their choice, and we love the fact that we get the ability to have that choice, and we hope you understand.
Yes, merchandise as well. Do you do CDs, T-shirts, all that sort of stuff?
We do. So you can order a CD through Sliptrick, but we're going to get a bunch for our Bandcamp, which is probably cheaper for the postage from where Sliptrick is. And we're going to do this week or start next week. We're going to do a pre-order for the Ghosts of What We Knew merch, which will be the Aztec circle on the T-shirt, and we've already actually got the test merch we got, and we think it's sick. Our merch game has been bad, so this one we're gonna hit it up because we realize how many people want T-shirts. We're going, oh shoot, yeah. Well, you got to hold them all. You got to hold. We've got boxes downstairs. Like, oh, maybe they want a small long sleeves. You have to buy like 3 of them, and then nobody buys them. And all of a sudden you sold 4, and you went, shit, I only had 3. I've got to run them a batch. And it's like, can I give this to somebody else to do?
I wouldn't have said it was bad, though.
No. It's great. But what I've got mean is merch is the hardest thing for bands to do.
Yeah, it's managing it. Yeah.
Because we don't want to give it to a third person because that just sucks the money out of it.
Yes.
So it's the only real way we make money is physical CDs and our merch. And we've been very fortunate at gigs.
Yeah.
The Isle of Man pays a lot more than the UK does, like twice as much, I think. So we're very good for that. Yeah. So that's good, and we can generate this income. But we're spending so much on social media. Facebook advert for circles was like 200 quid just to put in people's faces. You have to.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish people paid radio to play it. I'm just saying, just putting it out there, throwing it out there.
Yeah. Well, but you should, right? That's the point.
Speak to your record label.
Hopefully Sliptrick will do us proud, and we'll be good, and we might get a bit further than we have done before. And if we don't, it doesn't matter. If we do, amazing.
Guys,
we'll get another step.
I have. I'm just always.
We're making another step forward. That's what this is.
Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I wish you all the very best for your new album, and hopefully I'll bump into you guys in the flesh, as it were, very soon.
Yeah, when we're down in Devon, we'll go hit you up, mate.
Yeah, enough of that. Take care, guys.
Cheers, man. Bye.